Okay, so we are back. We are back for the third early 2018 Oscar predictions. This isn't so early anymore, and some of you will probably be happy to know this is the last early Oscar predictions video I'm doing. I'm basically just using that title as an excuse to kind of go through some bullet points and talk about what I think has a shot, what doesn't have a shot, any kind of new things that have happened. I kind of want to talk about those. Timeline-wise, I believe Golden Globe nominations are December 6th, so I'll probably do a reaction video to that, and then from there do my actual list of nominations and who I think will be nominated. And this year I kind of want to look at it in a different way. I want to look at lock-ins, because I think there are a lot. This year's interesting because there are a lot of people who I think will 100% be nominated, and then there's a group of 7 or 8 that are just toss-ups, and it kind of depends on A, how the movie's regarded, and B, how they hold up over time. But again, I'll get more into that in a month. For right now, I want to go through some of the points that I have to talk about. This will probably be the shorter video. I only have 5 points I want to talk about because not a crazy ton has happened, but enough has happened to actually have an impact on the race. So let's get right into it, shall we? So the first thing I want to talk about is The Post, which is the Steven Spielberg film that is set to release in January, wide release that is, with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. The Post finally got a trailer, it got a poster, it got some buzz, not buzz awards-wise, I'm talking just attention-wise, and I'll be the first to say it, I guess, but I didn't think it looked that great. I thought it looked very bland and just basic, kind of regular biopic movie shit. I thought it looked really corny, especially that opening scene of the trailer. I don't know, it looks shockingly by the books. And Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, neither of them look like they're doing anything crazy in it. And I have to ask myself, I think everyone does, if this movie flops and is not great, it's fine, and it's knocked out of the race completely, who does that help and who does that harm, if anyone at all? Personally, I see The Post in a position right now where if it gets nominated, it really wouldn't have much of a chance to win anything. I think it would just be kind of one of those movies that's there, nominated for Best Picture, maybe a performance Oscar, but it's not going to win anything. It's just, it was just one of the nominees. But if that thing flops, I think that'd be kind of crazy, because a lot of people have on their predictions, they've got the movie being nominated for Best Picture, they've got Spielberg for Best Director, they've got Streep in Leading Actress, some people have Hanks in Best Leading Actor, even though he's gotten, fucked almost every year since Castaway, which is really interesting. But, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I thought it looked very Some of the dialogue was not great, which is surprising, because I'm pretty sure this is the guy who wrote Spotlight, which won Best Original Screenplay. Maybe it's just a bad trailer. Who knows? No one can say anything about this movie yet because it has not released anywhere. There's no kind of critic reviews at all for this thing yet. And it's hard to just instantly shut down Steven Spielberg as a director. Now, that's not to say he hasn't had some flops in recent years, because he has. I loved Bridge of Spies. I really like that movie. A lot of people find that movie boring and slow. I really enjoy that movie. I've watched it several times. It's on HBO, I think, and I watch it every now and then. But yeah, War Horse is kind of painful. Indiana Jones. What else has he done? That just wasn't very good. Oh, Lincoln was great, though. It is. It's hard to rule out Spielberg's movies and his stuff as a contender, and especially, Meryl Streep, who you could argue whether or not should have been nominated in recent years. I'll argue that. I think she's one of the best actresses of all time, certainly working right now, but that's not to say that all of her performances have been worthy of a nomination, so whether that can continue with this movie or not remains to be seen. I'd like to see the reviews the movie gets, or if they release another trailer that looks better. Again, this could just be a poorly cut trailer. And especially Tom Hanks. I did not like what he was doing with his performance. It sounded like Tom Hanks putting on an accent trying to act. And it was gross. I don't know what I was watching. It was out of place and unnatural, and I didn't like it. So there's my take on that. The other thing I want to talk about is Detroit, which is a movie you probably forgot about until I just brought it up. So, in my first video, I talked about how I thought Detroit had a very good chance of being nominated, and how it even probably had a better chance than Dunkirk. That was wrong. My excuse for that was I think that video was in August, right when Detroit had released. Dunkirk literally, like, just got out of most theaters. It just became available for pre-order on iTunes, and it's November, and that movie released in July. When was the last time you heard about Detroit? It released in August, and then had a good amount of buzz for, like, a month. And everyone was kind of going, oh man, this could be big. This could be a big contender. But now, I haven't heard shit about that movie in a long time. And that's not to say I don't think it deserves nominations. Truthfully, I do. I think someone like Will Poulter or John Boyega absolutely could get a nomination for their work. Not could, should. And they're re-releasing it on December 1st. And I don't know enough about Oscar history to say whether or not that will work for them or not. But to me, it feels almost a little bit like a last-ditch effort from Bigelow and Annapurna Pictures to be like, hey, remember us? We're still there. We're still there. We're still there. And I don't know if that's going to work or not. It very well could. The subject matter is very drawn Academy-wise. I think they would want to recognize a movie like that. But then there was the whole controversy where it was like, I can't believe a white woman directed this. Okay. But, like, if the movie's respectful and the movie's good, what the fuck does it matter? But yeah, that's one that we'll have to wait and see if that re-release does anything for it. I don't know. I think that's a stretch now. Because again, Dunkirk managed to keep the momentum flowing from July to November, and then when Golden Globe nominations come out, if it gets nominations for that, then you start noticing it rising to the top again, and if Detroit gets no nominations there, and like Detroit is a movie that I personally think if it gets no Golden Globe nominations, then get rid of it. I throw it out the window. I think that's it. I think that it loses its contention completely. People say Golden Globes don't matter. That's not true. Golden Globes matter in terms of momentum. I use that term so much in these videos, but it's because it's one of the most important terms. You have to keep... That's why all of the Oscar movies are released in October, November, and December, so that when nominations come out in January, they're fresh. They're hot off the Academy voters' minds. That's why Logan ain't getting nominated for shit, because it came out in March. And that's why, like, it's hard for Detroit, because it came out in August. And whether or not that's the studio's fault for releasing it then, that's up to you to discuss. But it's still, here we are, it's November, nominations are in 2 months, and when was the last time you heard about Detroit? So I think that if the re-release really does something for them and it gets the attention that it had again when it was released, okay, maybe then you're looking at something. But if it doesn't show up at the Golden Globes, in my opinion, I think that's a done deal. I think you can get rid of it and you can mark it off your list, in my opinion. I think look out for it at the Golden Globe nominations, and if it shows up, prove me wrong. Phantom Thread. We finally got A title, B a plot, C a trailer, and D a poster for that movie. Interestingly enough, I know I saw this somewhere, I think it was Award Circuit, where they had the movie listed as Phantom Thread, but then everyone was still like, no, it's untitled, and then they finally released the title, and it was Phantom Thread, and everyone went, oh, I thought we knew that. So, this was kind of important to see, especially for the Best Leading Actor race, and whether or not Gary Oldman would have the competition with Daniel Day-Lewis, because Daniel Day-Lewis has won 3 times, but he's lost twice. He's not, like, undefeated in terms of winning Oscars. He has lost. So, you know, it wasn't like a sure, oh man, it'll be a 1v1. And so this thing got released, and it looks very good. But it does not look like anything crazy. When you look at Daniel Day-Lewis's track record of winning Oscars, he always goes so far off the I don't know if my stomach keeps rumbling, by the way, I just ate dinner. He always goes just, like, so far out of his zone. Like, My Left Foot, he played a mentally disabled individual almost flawlessly. There Will Be Blood, he plays just a fucking maniac, so believably. And Lincoln is probably the best performance of a president you will ever see, ever. He is phenomenal in that film, and I like that movie a lot, and a lot of people shit on that movie for being long and drawn out, and I disagree with that. But this just kind of looks like, okay, Daniel Day-Lewis is putting on a performance. That's cool. We don't get to see that often. It reminds me of Nine. I don't know how many of you saw that movie, but in that, like, he's good, but he's just kind of, you know, he's putting on a performance. He's not doing anything crazy. And so I think we could be looking at kind of a situation like that for this run. Again, the movie looks good, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything noteworthy, I guess. It just looks like it's an Oscar movie. Darkest Hour, on the other hand, with Gary Oldman, is like, holy shit, he underwent this huge transformation and he's going way outside of his acting zone and we're going to see something from him we've never seen before. You want my opinion right now, I think you could see Gary Oldman running away with the race for leading actor. Unless we all go see Phantom Thread and there's just some crazy shit in that movie that nobody sees coming. In which case, I would be happily disproven. Although I'm pulling for Gary Oldman. I'll say it right now. I'm pulling for him to win because his ass deserves an Oscar. Who the fuck is playing piano? Stop. Stop. Well, we're going to talk over that. You get some good background music. This is what you get for going to a 16-year-old in high school to get your Oscar predictions. This comes with the territory. I'll probably talk about these two movies hand in hand. I would like to... It's Lady Bird and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I'd like to have reviews for these movies out already, but I live in kind of a dead zone in terms of, like, limited releases. And so I don't get shit yet. I think both of them come out here at the end of the week, so, like, I'll try and go see them, but everyone else and their mother has already seen those movies. So I'm trying my best. Both of those movies have received reviews, I'm pretty sure, since I last talked. I know they have received reviews, but I can't remember if they had reviews or not when I made the last video. But they are both very, very stellar. They are, like, both receiving incredible acclaim from critics. And where that comes into play, I think they both have... I think those are two must-see movies for people looking to see all the Oscar movies. I think you absolutely have to go see Lady Bird and Three Billboards. But where that comes into play, in my opinion, is the Best Leading Actress category, which is looking like it's going to be a three-headed fight. It's looking like Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, and Frances McDormand for... Three Billboards. I think it could be the tightest race, because then you throw people like Margot Robbie in there, or you even throw Meryl Streep in there if the post ends up shaping out. And I think both of these movies are going to go neck and neck in terms of the leading actress category and everything else. I think it's award circuit that has Three Billboards as #1 to win Best Picture. That might be a stretch. It might be like a little too vulgar and violent for the Academy's taste, but it would be really interesting to see them award a movie like Three Billboards, because it looks like a Coen Brothers movie, and they don't often award, like, they do award Coen Brothers movie, like No Country for Old Men, but it looks like a Coen Brothers movie, if you kind of know what I'm talking. Like, they have a certain style. They don't do it with all of their movies, but they do it with a lot of them, and they don't, you don't usually see those movies getting recognized at the Oscars. But again, the reviews I've seen for this movie are beyond phenomenal. I mean, they're really, really good. Same with Lady Bird. I've heard nothing but acclaim. I think Lady Bird, you're looking at a picture nomination. You could be looking at a director nomination. Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf for sure. Three Billboards, I think Frances McDormand for sure. If we see Sam Rockwell in there, I would be so happy. He is like... He's one of those long overdue, but he's never been in a role that, like, it makes sense for him to be nominated for. But, like, I really want to see him get nominated. I think he could. I mean, his reviews are great. People are loving him in this. They're saying it's his career performance. So, those are two to definitely check out. Go look for. Definitely. That's it. Fuck. I missed. It's better. So, like I said, keep an eye out for the Golden Globe reactions towards the beginning of December, and then probably a week or two later, I'll give you the nomination predictions for the Oscars. But that's going to do it for this video. Guys, please let me know what you think I missed or didn't touch on, or what you agree with or disagree with in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I love looking at comments and being able to respond to as many as I can. Again, I'm busier than I'd like to be. I'm a junior in high school, and I'm slammed in more ways than I'd like to be. So, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I've gotten a ton of new subscribers and a ton of new followers. It's been really awesome and great. I'm really glad that you guys are liking my stuff, especially for being in the position I'm in, not a professional reviewer or critic at all, or being in a position of power whatsoever. It's really nice to know that people give a shit about what I'm saying. That's cool. So, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I hope you stick around some more for some more Oscar talk and discussion, because this is my favorite time of the year. I love this. Little side note, I'm not doing a review on it because I don't have time. Fucking Murder on the Orient Express was not good. 3 out of 10. There you go. If you watch my reviews, there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.